The auditions for Breeders first began at University of Nebraska at Lincoln. We had a cast of over 100, and so we had several times, well, probably 3 to 4 different times of holding auditions. Also, we had a second round of auditions that occurred in Omaha. So we had people casted from all of the Nebraska area as well as Iowa. People coming in from Council Bluffs and even from the University of Iowa. So when it came to the leads, the casting was crucial. The lead actor was, the lead character was portrayed by Andy Keach, who, consequently, was in my previous film, who played Victor. Andy had been working in a repertory company in Pittsburgh, and he was interested in the role. I had reservations because I wanted to cast somebody local, and we had looked at a couple of people that looked pretty good, but in the end it didn't work out. When we used Andy and Victor, we abused that boy to no end. We would stick him up 70 to 100 feet in the air. We threw him into rivers. We made him run all over the place barefooted in the woods, and each time Andy would come out and say, "What else do you want me to do?" Andy was a real trooper and giving 110% constantly. So I knew that I could trust him coming and not leaving, and that was really the number one thing that was on my mind, to A, get a good actor, secondly, to get someone I know who would not drop out in the middle, because had that happened, the whole thing would be over with. We would be totally, well, I could use some choice words, but I'll pass. It just wouldn't work out. The character of Julie was portrayed by Joan Lochner, who's a grad student at the University of Nebraska at Lincoln. When I saw Joan's audition tape, I knew right then and there that that was my Julie. The look was almost what I thought about when I was actually writing the script. She was an angel in disguise on this film, perfect in every way. And the kicker is that she had never, ever done a film before. And she just fit in like a perfect glove. She was absolutely wonderful to work with, a beautiful person to work with. We had high school students from the Omaha and Lincoln area that were up to maybe 40 to 50 of them, and they were a gem to work with. It was their first experience with film. They were eager to do anything, and the number one thing that these actors had to learn, and the most difficult thing that they had to learn, that there's a saying in film when you shoot film, and that is, hurry up and wait. It can take up to maybe 4 hours to set up one shot that maybe last less than a minute of film time. So when you have, it's hard enough for professional actors to sit around as the crew is setting up for the next shot. Think what it's like working with a bunch of high school kids who have to sit for hours, and then they have to get their energy up and do the scene, and for 30 seconds, then they got to go back to another place and sit down for another 2-3 hours. Lots of people brought books, lots of the kids brought games and such, and with the exception of maybe a couple of times where you had to kind of come in and shake your finger at them. For the most part, they were great. They were absolutely fantastic and very cordial, did whatever you wanted them to do, and had a great time doing it. They had a terrific time doing it. When you're working on an independent film and you have a limited time to shoot, one of the hardest things to do when you're working with actors is the short amount of rehearsal time you have with them. It's not like a play where you not only bond with your director, but you have many, many weeks to rehearse until opening night. Now, on major feature Hollywood films, sure, you have long amounts of time to rehearse, sometimes several months. But when you're a small independent film, you do not have that luxury. Actually, I had a week and a half to rehearse with just the principal actors. So as I'm on the set and dealing with all the technical aspects of what is around me, I'm also dealing with not only trying to get the best performance I possibly can out of my actors, but I'm also trying to get to know them as well. And that's a difficult task to do. They're unsure of me, I'm unsure of them. We're both trying to get to know each other and figure out what this whole scenario of filmmaking is all about. Also, too, it's very difficult when you're shooting a film to really realize how it's going to look in the final product, particularly if you've never worked on a film before. Now, as a director and making films before, I have an idea of what this is going to look like, but they don't. And it's very different when you're on a film crew set and you're trying to give the best either comedic or dramatic performance possible, and you got this camera so close in your face, you have all these people around you, you got a guy who's holding a boom mic that's right above your head, and it's a very intimidating process, yet these people came through very well.